welcome to the channel. This is Go Grady and welcome to the 2022-2023 Gran Turismo World Series Manufacturers Cup Exhibition Season 2, round number 1. Tonight we are at the Nurburgring GP circuit in the Group 3 cars, and I have signed once again for Nissan, hoping to pilot Godzilla into the top 10 for Nissan. Can I do it? You're going to have to stick around and find out. Another short series that we have here on Gran Turismo 7 in the Gran Turismo World Series. So we'll go to sport mode there, then jump over to the Manufacturers Cup and take a quick peek at the schedule. The first week will be at Nurburgring GP in Group 3, then Group 4 at St. Croix C, and then to finish it off, Group 3 at Fuji. Lobby opens up, see some familiar names, see Cantilever in here, we see PTY Sim Racing, Crabster's in here, look down there at P7. We've also got Zwart Racing and Pro 3, we've seen him around, McBoatman as well, so pretty good lobby. There you see P8 Smydeen, you know we've had some trouble with him in the past. Fingers crossed that we don't run into any more in this lobby. Let's get on to qualifying. For qualifying, you're out here diddle-dallying around on your outlap, not trying to completely ruin your soft tires, as it is a 3-compound race. Soft, medium, or hard tires. You're required to run medium or hard. Soft's basically reserved for qualifying. So as I cross the line, heading out, the outlap that I just finished, like I said, I wasn't really pushing real hard, just trying to save the tires. So didn't really notice anything different about the car on that outlap. Now what I want you to do is to look down at the throttle on the right hand side, look for the arrow right there, and what you'll notice is I'm applying the throttle and it's pulsating as it's coming up. What that pulsation is traction control limiting the output of the gas into the engine and hence the rear tires. And so I have no idea that I've got traction control on. So I'm whipping around here and I'm hitting my apexes, I'm applying the throttle. But what traction control does when you've gotten to a certain spot in Gran Turismo with your driving skill, it actually slows you down. It doesn't really help you anymore. So I've reached that level, thankfully, and it's slowing me down. I don't know it. And I'm just thinking that I am running the greatest lap right here. I'm like, man, I'm really putting the traction down. I'm coming out of these corners looking great. And not realizing that I've got TCS 3 on as I'm going around the track. So let's fast forward here. Let's go look at what my time is. So as I'm coming around the last corner, I peek down there and I see my throttle doing that flickery thing. I'm like, oh crap, traction control's on. So I got to drop it to 0, cross the line with a 155, 103. I'm like, that is a horrible time. This is it's a top split lobby. It doesn't have all the top split drivers in it. It's only like a 310 point lobby, but it is a really, really solid lobby. This would be like a kind of mid-top second split kind of lobby. I'm like, a 155 is nowhere near good enough for these guys. These guys are really quick. And I'm like crapping my pants right now. And I'm like, I got to put down because I've been having all these troubles qualifying for whatever reason. I just can't seem to qualify during the actual race. Like I can do practice lobbies and qualify just fine. I get into these races and I get all tense. Here I'm all relaxed. I was feeling good. I put in the practice. And I was like, it is what it is. Grady, you're going to qualify with like a 53.7, 53.8, 53.9, or a 54 flat. Somewhere in there. Somewhere in that 3/10 range is what I'm thinking. And I'm sitting on a 155, 103. And I'm crapping my drawers right here. I'm sitting down at P14. There's only 16 folks in the lobby right now. And so I have to put my head down. Hitting the apex here, getting on the throttle in 5th gear, full throttle all the way through the Schumacher S's. Gonna get on the brakes right here, halfway between where the gray is and the 100-meter board. Back up on the throttle, gonna drop it down to 2nd, get some rotation, back up into 3rd. Feeling the grip of the tires there. What I'm doing is letting the car roll there, trying to feel the front end, feel if it shudders. If it shudders, I'm losing grip on that front end, then I'm rolling that throttle back in hard, trying to put the grip down. Now here on the chicane, I'm going to brake about the 100 board, and then I'm going to try and coast it right over here. Right tire on the curb, left tire on the curb. Miss my left tire on the curb, So a little slow through the chicane. Could have been a good bit quicker there. Probably lost about a tenth in just that chicane, maybe even 2/10. So come around the final corner. No traction control this time. No traction control. Remember that. 155, 103 compared to a 154 flat. So about a second is what I gained by turning traction control off. So think of that as you improve. Get that traction control turned down as you're trying to get better in the game. My personal advice is just set it at 0 and get used to it. That's just take the bottle, throw it away. Just get rid of it completely. Just toss it and learn how to roll the throttle with the right foot. You'll learn how to feel the rear end as it's coming around, as it's breaking free. Just do it. Don't, you know, some people like to wean themselves off. I say go cold turkey and just nix it. All right, so even with that 154 flat, we are starting P10. We got our work cut out for us because I really want some good points here to start the season off. You know, the 911 so far is what I've seen has been the OP car here, but you know, the Nismo GTR 13 edition, not terrible. So let's see what we can do. It is race time. Very excited, but I got to tell you what, this screen really stresses me out. Gran Turismo 7, if you want to just nix this screen, I will not argue with you at all. I would rather just be in the cockpit right here, this view, just doing my thing, ready for the race to start. That stresses me out way less. So let's just do that. How about that? Yeah, I think we all agree with that. Just put it in the comments below. Let's get GT7 to fix that. All right, heading towards corner 1 here at the GP circuit. It can always be very dangerous. I look down the inside, but I don't want to lose the outside line to that GTR behind me. And I get a Gretty pass as I go by another Nissan GTR. What happened? Let's take a quick look and find out. Here we are riding along with the Nissan GTR that spun out in corner 1. Goes around and gets on the loud pedal. And, well, how fitting is that name, eh? Heavy right foot. Too heavy on the right foot. So back to the action. As you can see, a little bit of contact made there between Smydeen and the Porsche of Raphael. Again, like I said, I've had some struggles with Smydeen in the past, but I try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt of the race and will attempt to race them as cleanly as possible. So hopefully I do not have to pull out the vigilante status on old Smydeen in this race. I would just really like to have a nice clean race, if at all possible. So anyway, on to the race. I am on the 5 hard, 10 medium strategy. That is the one that I determined to be the one to work best for me. You can flip it and do a 10 medium, 5 hard if you want to pull away from everyone, or you know, some other combination. As you go through the Schumacher S, watch this. I'm going to go wide, lift, go back on track, put up the throttle back on, save myself a half-second penalty right there. I tell you what, it doesn't get any closer than that. I was really lucky, because if I'd gotten a half-second penalty right there, I mean, at the start of the race, it's brutal because you fall so far back in the pack. So able to get through there without the penalty by lifting on the throttle when I realized I was going in too far to the right on that Schumacher's S. So good deal there. Glad I did not ruin my race right at the beginning. Now, like I said, you can run any other combination. The 9-6 strategy worked pretty good as well, like 9 mediums, 6 hards. I'm running hards first because I'm at the back of the pack. I'm hoping to get some undercuts on some people by going in the pits 1 lap earlier, maybe catching some people sleeping that weren't really wise to their strategies. I've already fallen back a second and a half, but I'm not too worried about it. You still got everyone packed together. You get that accordion effect. So I feel like I can catch back up to them. I was a little freaked out after almost getting the penalty there. I tensed up a little too much. You really got to relax and not drive this track too hard. It is a very slippery track. And so if you miss your apex, there's not much camber to save you. And for whatever reason, it just feels like you push the car forever. So you have to be on your brake markers constantly, and when you're switching tires and as slick as this track is, just makes it super difficult. Now Smydeen gets loose there coming out of that left-hander, and then you're going to see Speed Freak's going to go down the inside. Now by touching him when he was in that peculiar situation, Speed Freaks gets a 3-second penalty, not very deserved, but I'm going to take advantage of that and slip it down the inside of Smydeen, actually make a little bit of contact there. Apologies. Didn't want to make contact on those cold, hard tires. It slipped out. Well, they weren't really cold, but they're hard, and they do tend to slide a little bit more. Now, as I'm coming alongside here on Speed Freaks, I'm sure that he is, just a little off his game from getting that penalty, and I'm like, I don't really want to stick it around the outside there, and he kind of made a semi-defend through there, and then moves over the right, and he serves his penalty. I could have just stayed on his rear bumper. What I was trying to avoid is possibly having Schmidty get alongside me there and causing some problems. I was just trying to avoid that altogether. But it ended up working out. 3-second penalty. He is back now. And so I've got about 2.3 seconds to the car in front of me in P6. I've picked up 3 spots, gotten 2 ready passes, 1 decent pass, I guess you could say, on Schmidty. I don't know. He'd gone off track. You could probably say 3 ready passes. But it's my game, just try to drive quick, consistent laps and, see if I can benefit from other people's mistakes. So let's fast forward a little bit here and see what happens as the pit stops start to come into play. Here we are on lap number 3, and you see SV Crab jumping in the pits early on lap 3. He's going to go long on the mediums. Is that going to work out for him? Well, watch this as he's coming around through the final chicane in the McLaren there. Gets a little squirrely, comes out wide, has to cut it back, crosses the line right there, and that's going to be an issue as he comes out of the pit. He has a 3-second penalty. That is really going to cost him a lot of time, so we'll go ahead and chalk that up as a gritty pass because it is going to end up putting him behind many of us after our pit stops, unable to recover from that. Not sure what else happened to him. I think he lost some more time somewhere else, but not positive. Crabster, if you're watching, put it in the comments. Let us know what happened in that race. All right, on to lap 5. Time for me to come in. I just barely missed crossing that line. If you look over here, you'll see Ace Engineer also with a half-second penalty that he's going to have to serve. So I switch over to the mediums. Nissan factory pit crew comes out. They say, we got you, bro. Ready? They're going to put on my tires and get me out. Lickety split. Let's see if they can get it done. In rolls the Nissan. Look at them go, folks. First gear sign upside down. What else do you expect from the factory team? And they send me on my way. Clean 22-second pit stop, and I'm back on the road chasing folks down. I'm in P9, and when I came out in P9, I was like, that's actually pretty good because I pitted early. I pitted on lap 5. Most people are going to come in on if they're on the hards to start the race on lap 6 or even lap 7, which means I've got a good opportunity for an undercut on some folks that are in front of me that could push me into that top 8 that I was really hoping that I'd be able to get for this race to get some decent points to start the season. And, moving up 2 spots even in this lobby is good. These are good quality drivers here in this lobby. Then you see we got a yellow flag as I'm coming around the right-hander here. As we come through the other side, I can see the ghosted car up off in the distance. Must have lost it on the curbing coming out the other end. And it is PTY Sim Racing. And I've raced PTY Sim Racing before in the past. Super clean driver. Good guy to race with. I come out the other end, try and apply the loud pedal a little too hard, a little too quickly there. The back end gets a little bit loose now. Moving towards the back end. He's probably got dirty tires. Not really sure what's going on with him, but he moves over left. Not sure if he's having some equipment problems, but he just lets me go on by right there. And I tell you what, I will absolutely take it. Now, like I said, I don't know what kind of issues he was having. Maybe the car had damage. I'm not really sure, but I was able to get right by without any trouble at all. And I'm on to almost the end of lap 6. I'm in P8, and this is looking really good for me, depending how the rest of the pit stops go, depending on what tire strategies the other people are on. I'm hoping they were also on hard tires and they're just going a little bit longer. As you see now, GT Fox heading into the pits there. And what you'll see as I come around this final right-hander towards the start-finish line, the other folks that have jumped in the pit stops, including who was the one that was right in front of me, which is Ace Engineer, who had the half-second penalty. They're all going to jump on the medium tires. Now, there's Ace Engineers coming out of the pits. So I was able to make almost, what was that, a 3-second jump there by pitting 1 lap early, and then, of course, Engineer having that half-second penalty. Now, he's in a little bit of battle with PTY Sim Racing, which makes me wonder if he didn't have engine damage. But that puts in the mind of Ace Engineer that he has to defend these corners, which is going to help me out greatly as I try to pull away and get out of the slipstream of that Lamborghini, which is a very quick mid-engine car, which is really good in these corners. Now, here on to lap 9, you'll see I did indeed get away from the folks behind me. I put a 4-second gap on me, and you'll see I've got a 4-second gap to P4. But P4 came out in the pits right before I did, so he is on the medium tires as well. So I probably will not catch him. He will continue to pull away from me. But if you look at the pits there, P3 right now, the BDM driver, he is coming in on the mediums, coming out on the hards for his final 6 laps. So I have those 6 laps to catch up to him, and I've done a pretty good job. I've run him down. I'm now within a second of the Mexican in the Mazda division. Question is, can I get the GTR onto his tails? My tires are starting to get a little long in the tooth. If you look down in the lower left-hand corner there, you'll see I'm more than 3/4 the way done. Got a lap and a half left. Now his hard tires are going to hold up better. As mine begin to slow down, his will continue to maintain pace. So I've got to try and just get in there and get into his head, maybe force a mistake somewhere. Now I'm within 3/4 of a second of his back bumpers. We head through the final chicane. I'm hoping maybe for a little bit of mistake here from him as we head through the chicane. But again, like I said, these are good, solid drivers in this lobby. Very consistent. He loses the rear end a little bit right there, and not enough for me, as I didn't really take the chicane all that great on that lap. Now he pulls back out to 1 second. That was really a mistake by me. I should have been within half a second coming down this straight, and this is really where I could have made the pass, was here in the braking zone after the long straight. So big mistake by Gretty there in that final turn, final chicane sequence. As you can see how much time I gained in that braking zone having the medium tires. My tires I'm really feeling them now here on the 10th lap. Really struggling to put the power down. I'm wanting to put it down early, trying to get alongside him so I can try and make a move somewhere as we come through this very technical section of the track. I'm just trying to squeeze the throttle in and just stay tight to him, but he just keeps pulling away from me. He's doing a great job on those hard tires, holding me at bay. Now I've slipped all the way back to a second back as I think I'm just driving a little bit too hard right here, but it's not over yet. We still got half the lap to go. Still a long way to go for me to possibly squeeze a P4, and you can see second and third place right there. Who knows what may happen? They could spin out on a curb. I could even land on the podium here, all the way from 10th place. But first, I got to get by the Mexican. So as we go into Schumacher's S, I'm really applying the throttle nice and early here. Now I'm beginning to really gain on him within 7/10 of the back of that Mazda. Get on the brakes there. He looks like he takes that corner just a little bit timidly, a little too wide, gets loose there, gets on the gas, gets a little bit into the grass. Now is my chance. Now slip out of here right behind him. 3/10 back on the throttle early, down into 2/10 back, heading towards the final chicane. I'm going to look down the inside, see if I can't get him to brake late. I brake there right at the 100-meter board, about where I do. Go left, leave him room on the inside. He leaves me room on the outside, but I'm unable to apply the throttle. I didn't want to get on the gas too early and lose the rear end. I was hoping he would make a mistake. He defends the inside. I go outside, try to get the cut back, send it back down the inside, get on the throttle. Can I catch it before the finish line? Within 2/10 now, and not able to get it done. End up with a 5th place in this race. I tell you what, I am pretty happy with that. Good, consistent lap times there. Factory team leader looks over and says, "Great drive, bro." I agree. So how'd I do? 258 points, puts me 3rd on the friends list. But the question is, how did I do for the manufacturer standings? So if we look over at the manufacturer standings at 258 points, puts me in P7 for Nissan, into the top 10 where I want to be. But let's see if I can't get up to P5 before it's all said and done. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the action. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like and or subscribe. Come back, check out some more. For myself, Go Gretty. Y'all have a great evening.